So I want you to check out this mural that I painted about 2.5 years ago, the Denver Nuggets mural, and this is how it looks now. So yeah, so all the wear and tear, all that stuff. This is how it looks 2.5 years ago when I originally painted it, and this is how it looks right now. And you can kind of see the wear and tear and the eggplants that people keep putting on the mural. And there's a ton of other stuff on here that people just keep putting on there, but this is a high traffic area, so I understand that this thing is going to get messed up periodically. I painted over it and repaired it about 4 other times. You can kind of see the wall is actually falling apart, is hanging on for dear life right now. I mean, I don't know what's holding this thing together. I'm just able to sort of patch it up every time I sort of see it sort of deteriorate to a certain level, and just make it look good as possible for people driving by. But when you get up close, you can kind of see some of the imperfections. So I'm going to share exactly how I'm repairing it. And one of the first things is using this heritage and sensitive surface graffiti remover from the graffiti removal ink company. I have the website down here. I actually coated this mural with protective coating before, when I first finished the mural, with Mural Shield, and then basically that protects it, but it's not foolproof, especially when I have to keep repairing it. But I use that graffiti remover to sort of go over these trouble areas where people were using markers on it. And this place right here is Colfax, so it's a little sort of get together for people who just want to cause a little bit of trouble sometimes. But after I put on the graffiti remover and agitate the areas, I have a pressure washer. It is the EcoBlaster pressure washer. It's by the same company too, and I like it because it's portable. And because it's portable, I just have to carry around the 5-gallon buckets to add water into it, and then I add the water, so I don't need to plug into anywhere, mainly because I want to be able to move around in different areas without having to have a water source. I just got to carry my own buckets, but it is limited by the amount of 5-gallon buckets I carry. But I basically power wash it, not too much or too hard, because I don't want to wash away some of the layers underneath or sort of chip away at the wall, because like I said, it is sensitive. So I definitely can't get up close and just keep pounding an area of the wall, or else that whole entire area is going to get chipped away. And you can kind of see it sort of slowly fade away, but I have to do this quite a few times to sort of get the areas where the graffiti remover agitated the paint and sort of allows me to pressure wash it away. And then I go back and add more of the graffiti remover and just repeat that process again and again until I'm in a good area to where, okay, I can actually do repairs with spray paint. But this is how it looks after I pressure wash it. You can kind of see some of the parts smeared, some of the part went through, some of the underneath layers, and sort of got the actual paint that I put on there, because this graffiti remover is really, really strong. But this is when I go in with spray paint and do the repairs and try to color match as best as possible. And the color matching is easier for this process, mainly because there's not a lot of different colors that I have to get right. It's mainly the background, and I can change up the background however I want to. And with the face, it's a little bit more difficult, but that's why I like doing a lot of these abstract sort of pieces, because I can use different colors versus trying to make sure I get the right exact flesh tone or right color for the background. I'm able to mix and match however I need to, and I don't have to get everything perfect. So I'm going around and just patching up however I can, just to make sure that it looks good enough when people drive by. I'm not so worried about the people walking by, mainly just people driving by, because that's where majority of the people will enjoy the mural, just people driving by on Colfax. One of the tips I always tell artists is to save a list of the paints that you use, just in case you have to do repairs like this and repaint and color match some of those different areas. After that, I go back and look at different areas where the wall is absolutely about to chip away, and I use the Loctite Power Grab Ultimate Clear Sealant to seal those areas. It's like I had adhesive. You can see where I used it in the past to save some of the different areas. If I didn't use it, this wall would basically almost be on the ground. So I try to save as much as I can so that I don't have to go back and forth. But the owners of the building, you know, it's not cost effective for them to repair the wall. And that is how I actually got the wall, because they didn't want to repair it. It's not worth it to them. It's easier to let an artist just paint it. But after I did all that, I repaired it. I used SureKlean, a new anti-graffiti coating that I found. A friend gave it to me, and I've been using it mainly because I got it for free and I have a ton of it, to add another protective layer, because the power washing and the graffiti remover chips away at that other protective layer that I put on there prior. So I want to add another clean layer on top of that, and it just saturates everything just a little bit more to make the colors pop. So this is how the mural looked before I cleaned it, and then this is how the mural looks after I cleaned it and power washed it and tried to do some color matching. It's not perfect, but it's good enough to where, you know, people aren't seeing random tags and eggplants on it. So hopefully this helped out a little bit, and I will try to make some more videos of the behind the scenes of mural making. All right, I'll see you guys later.